Srila Prabhupada writes in Krishna book, of all the glories of Lord Krishna, the most important is his causeless mercy upon the conditioned souls in reclaiming them from the clutches of Maya. When we read about the glories of Lord Krishna, nothing seems more appealing or reassuring than the descriptions of his mercy. The Lord's mercy is unparalleled because it reveals our relationship with him. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur writes, the mercy is equivalent to the Lord. Because of its greatness, it is invisible to the material eye. Therefore, it is equated with Brahman. It is supreme, Paramam, being the most excellent among all. It is subtle, Sukshmam, not being understood even by the devotee who is the object of this mercy. And it is purely spiritual, Chin Matram, because of its ability to give the experience of Prem Ras. It is eternal, Sat, existing in all time. It is without fear of death, Anantakam. For the pleasure of Sri Sri Radha Gopinath and all the assembled Vaishnavas, we present to you the drama Supreme Mercy Meditations.
It was unprovoked, but this is what Russian President Vladimir Putin unleashed on Ukraine as the sun came up this morning. A missile striking an industrial park in western Ukraine. A helicopter assault on an airport outside of Kiev. Close, intense fighting. And there are civilian casualties. Local officials say this apartment building was struck in eastern Ukraine. Heartbreaking images of people, bloodied, staggering out of their homes. And this is what remains of another family's apartment, a baby stroller among the debris. We traveled to this Ukrainian military installation near the eastern port city of Mariupol.
This radar station took a direct hit. Russia is picking off Ukraine's military facilities one after another. But Ukrainian troops are fighting back, and Russia is also suffering losses here.
The army has been holding strong, but they're being pushed to the limit by Russia's full-scale invasion with attacks across Ukraine, which is the size of Texas, from areas near those pro-Russian enclaves in the east to the capital Kiev in the west.
Hare Krishna, Draupadi Rani. How are you? I hope you and your mother are safe in Ukraine.
Mataji Kishori, please accept my most humble obeisances. Mataji, this war has gripped the entire nation. Anytime there's bombing at any place, Kiev is not safe to live. Everyone is trying to escape Ukraine. I'm running out of my country. I'm in a car with a few strangers now, and we are heading towards the border of Ukraine.
Is your mother with you?
No, Mataji. My mother cannot leave my old grandmother all alone in this war situation.
That means you are all alone, trying to escape? Where will you go? Which city? Who will help you? And how will you make money?
Mataji, I have no answers to all these questions. At present, my mother says to just get out of this country, and if we survive, we will meet. I studied international law, so I believe Krishna has some plans for me, and Srila Prabhupada will shelter me. Mataji, my phone is getting discharged, so Hare Krishna.
Please take care, Draupadi Rani. And please be in touch. If we can do anything, please feel free to connect. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji Kishori. Where is Prabhuji? I am desperately trying to call.
Shridham Prabhu is in a meeting and I am at the temple for a wedding. Tell me, how can we help you? And how is your family?
Mataji, you know about the war? I have lost everything. My source of earnings was rental income from 6 properties. All 6 have been destroyed. I have lost everything. Just to save our lives, I tried to cross the border with my wife and 2 kids, but they stopped us. My wife and kids were allowed to cross, but I have to stay back here to serve as a soldier. I do not know where will my wife go with 2 kids and only a few clothes. I am feeling very helpless.
I really do not know what to say. Where are the other devotees? Can't you go to the temple?
The temple is vacant. All devotees have fled to save
What
their
about
lives.
the 7-feet marble deities of Sri Radha Madhav?
Achyutpriya Prabhu has hidden them at a secret place. Nobody knows where is Radha Madhav.
Where are Achyutapriya Prabhu and the brahmacharis? You all have worked so hard for last 15 years to make this beautiful cave temple.
Achyutpriya Prabhu with a few brahmacharis are hidden in caves in the mountain. He said that he would never leave a devotees alone. He is given secret classes from the cave and trying to inspire all the devotees.
Even in this most desperate situation, Achyutpriya Prabhu is so committed and is exhibiting such strong faith. All glories to him. Prabhuji, I will ask my husband to call back. Why are your sincere devotees suffering? They have selflessly served you for so many years. Please protect them. These are the devotees who have given their life for Srila Prabhupada's movement. Give them your shelter. O Radha Gopinath Dev, please show your mercy. You are the most merciful Lord. These devotees really need your kripa. Who are you, O divine goddess?
Oh, dear devotee, you do not recognize me? You are just now helplessly and desperately calling me. I am the mercy potency of the Lord.
Please accept my most humble obeisances. I am so fortunate to have your darshan. I am really worried about the devotees in Ukraine. They are intensely suffering. They have lost all their properties, belongings, association, temple, and even deities. Please help them.
Of course, my dear devotee. You know, even in the material conditions of this world, there is potential for realizing Krishna's mercy. Lord Krishna said to King Yudhishthir, "My devotee is not deterred by any adverse condition of life. He always remains firm and steady. Therefore, I give myself to him and I favor him so that he can achieve the highest success in life."
Goddess mercy. Yudhishthir Maharaj practiced the highest level of devotional service. But what about us practicing devotees and the devotees in Ukraine?
Krishna's mercy, although not always predictable or acceptable in the mundane sense, is incomparable to any other kindness or love. Lord Krishna does not miss even a single opportunity to shower his mercy upon those who serve him or seek him, even if indirect, inattentive, or unintentional. Then how much more so will he respond with mercy to those who directly, attentively, and intentionally serve him?
Now I understand. Thank you, Devi, for reassuring me.
Of all the qualities of God, his mercy upon his devotees is the topmost. The Lord finds some reason or the other to show compassion to his children. Would you go to help a person calling out to someone whose name just happens to be the same as yours? Very unlikely. But once Lord Narayan protected someone who on his deathbed was calling to his son.
Narayan? Oh, Narayan. Come, come. See what I've got for you. Eat this. Oh, you are really naughty.
So whom do we have to catch today?
Ajamil.
Oh, Ajamil. Isn't he the same one who had fallen from his Brahmanical culture for a low-grade prostitute?
Yes, the same one. And he also gave up his chaste wife and threw his mother and father out of their own home.
Just to fulfill the desires of this prostitute, he robbed and killed many innocent people and performed so many sinful activities.
Now, at the fag end of this life, just see what awaits him.
Where are you taking me? I don't want to come. Save me! Save me! Narayan! Narayan!
Stop! You are forbidden from taking this man away.
Who are you? What right do you have to stop us from taking this sinful, degraded being to accept the reactions of his sins?
And who are you to dare challenge the jurisdiction of Yamraj? Whose servants are you? Where have you come from? And why are you forbidding us from touching Ajamil?
We are Vishnudutas, the servants of Lord Narayan.
You should know that this man Ajamil has not undergone any atonement for his sins. Because of his sinful life, we must take him to the court of Yamraj for punishment. According to the extent of his sinful acts, he will be punished and thus purified.
But Ajamil has already atoned, not only for sins performed in this life, but also for those performed in millions of lives. Because in a helpless condition, he has chanted the holy name of Lord Narayan.
At the time of death, Ajamil helplessly and very loudly chanted the holy name of the Lord. That chanting alone has already freed him from the reactions of all his sinful karma.
Arey, you do not understand. Each and every sin committed by a jiva is recorded by Yamraj. And we are the agents who take them for their punishment.
Yes, what you are saying is true. But this man is sinless.
What? This man is sinless? Well, then you really do not know the history of Ajamil.
No, actually, you do not understand. He was crying out the name of Narayan in utter desperation at the time of death.
He was thinking of his son Narayan and not the Supreme Lord.
The name of Narayan is so powerful that even though he called his son Narayan, he chanted it offenselessly and in a desperate condition of mind. Tell me, if a person unaware of the effective potency of a certain medicine takes that medicine, will it not act? Of course it will act, even without his knowledge, because the medicine's potency does not depend on the patient's understanding.
This makes sense.
Similarly, even though one does not know the value of chanting the holy name of the Lord, if one chants, knowingly or unknowingly, the chanting will be very effective.
But do you know the extent of his sinful activities? We have worked overtime just to maintain his records.
But now, this man has no more karma. Chanting has purified him of all the sins of this life and of his previous lives. So you have no right to take him. He is our property.
These people are more powerful than us. Let us immediately go to our master Yamraj. Just pick up all our chains and ropes and let us quickly leave this place.
What have I done with my life? What have I done? My mother and father raised me so kindly. But when they were aged and helpless, I completely neglected them in order to serve this degraded woman. And my wife, who was chaste, faithful, and religious, I kicked her out of the house. And time again, I was begetting children in the womb of this sinful prostitute. I cheated innocent people. And then I became a robber. And then a murderer. Why? Just to satisfy this lust. And when this frustrated lust angered me, I shouted at others with harsh words. But the Lord of my life, Sri Narayan, I completely neglected him. And thus I have brought utter shame to the entire Brahminical race, all due to an apparently harmless distraction. But see the grace of that same Lord Narayan whom I disgraced. He allowed me to name my son Narayan. And when I called my son, he sent these celebrated personalities to save me from the most horrible fate. Who can be more merciful than my Lord? Who can be more merciful? Now with all gratitude, let me dedicate my life exclusively for chanting the holy names of the Lord constantly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
The Lord's name is not different from him. Even if one chants the Lord's name inattentively, the holy name destroys the unlimited sins and the material desires of that person. Then what must be the potency of chanting attentively to call out the Lord with love?
In the case of Ajamil, he called out the name of Lord Narayan unintentionally. Would you be willing to help someone who does not call out to you specifically? How concerned would you be about such a person? But Lord Hari once eagerly protected a suffering elephant, Gajendra. Even though he did not call out any of his names, Krishna, Ram or Narsimha. In fact, Gajendra described the qualities of a supreme person whom he thought of having the power to protect him. By the grace of this supreme Lord, in his time of crisis, Gajendra, the king of elephants, remembered a prayer that he had learnt in his previous life. The Lord is grateful for even the slightest amount of bhakti rendered by his devotees and protects them in the most dangerous circumstances.
ପ୍ରବଳ ମତ ବାରଣ ପ୍ରବଳ ମତ ବାରଣ ପ୍ରବଳ ମତ ବାରଣ ମୋଆରତ ନଳିନୀ ବନକୁ କର ଦଳନ ଆହେ ନୀଳ ଶୈଳ
Mercy is the most important quality of the Lord, and His pure devotees embody it. Pure devotees are as merciful as the Lord and are ever well-wishers of all living beings. As devotees, we must know the inestimable value of even a moment's association with a pure devotee. Due to arrogance, the demigods Nalakaver and Manigriv had abused the privileges granted to them by Lord Shiva and committed the offense of using a sacred place for sense gratification. Narad Muni, who always desires the ultimate welfare of all living beings, decided to go there to bless them.
Generally, people go to the Ganges to be purified of the effects of sinful life. But these two foolish men are sinning in the divine waters of the Ganges? Since even pious acts like bathing in the Ganges will not purify these fools, let me give them the irrepressible seed of devotional service.
Manigriva, this cooling water of the Ganges and your association, Priya, this pleasure is beyond measure.
Yes, Nala. We have never experienced such bliss anywhere else.
We, the sons of Kuvera, deserve to enjoy as much as we desire.
These demigods have fallen from the modes of goodness. Although the intoxication of wine wears off with time, the intoxication of pride does not. If I simply bless them with good fortune of pure devotion, they will take it for granted. I must first curb their pride, and when that has been achieved, they will then be eligible for bhakti. Therefore, I will curse them. Actually, it will be an offense on my part to curse demigods, but it will be useful in the greater plan of the Lord. Moreover, they will benefit by getting the direct vision of Lord Krishna. What could be more auspicious than that?
Oh Prabhus, dress quickly. Put on your clothes, lest this great stage curse us all. Quickly, come to the shore and dress.
Quickly dress? What is so offensive in being naked in front of a sadhu?
O sons of Kuber, because of false prestige and addiction to liquor, you have become so fallen that you cannot even understand your nakedness. Sometimes when a father wants to feed his sleeping son sweet rice, he has to pinch the boy to wake him up. Similarly, by my curse, you would come to your senses. Since you are behaving like trees, two of you should receive tree bodies. This will be proper punishment.
Oh Narad Muni, please forgive us. We neglected your presence. We did not even offer pranams to you.
Yes, we are your offenders. Your punishment is suitable.
However, if we must be trees, please allow us some concession.
Concession? Tell me, what concession do you want? I cannot give you a curse that does not result in bhakti. That would be my offense.
Please, allow us to take birth in the holy land of Vrindavan.
Yes, and hopefully by drinking the holy water from Yamuna, being firmly grounded in the worshipable sacred soil of Vrajadham, and in the company of desire trees, we may attain the essence of pure devotion.
Please, have mercy upon us.
You would get more than you have requested. Krishna will appear on earth after another 20,000 years. You would stand as Arjuna trees in Gokula until then. And after witnessing Krishna's childhood pastimes, standing in the courtyard of Nand Maharaj, the Lord would personally deliver you both from this curse. Tathastu, so be it.
Such is the causeless mercy of a Vaishnav. From this Leela of Narad Muni, devotees should recognize the dangers of bad association, which can even bewilder the Devatas.
Nalakuver and Manigriv disappeared from Kailash and appeared in faraway Gokul as twin Yamal Arjuna trees. And here their pure devotional life began. Someone who came to you in an attractive attire but with an utterly atrocious attitude? Knowing that there was malice and deceit behind that person's pleasant dealings, would you be willing to show any kindness?
Very difficult.
Well, Lord Krishna once bestowed great mercy on a witch Putana who actually came to kill him.
That Vishnu made me a fool. He was supposed to be born as the 8th son of Devaki and Vasudev. But the 8th child was a daughter. And she has proclaimed that my enemy Vishnu has taken birth somewhere else. Minister!
Yes, Maharaj. Then what is your order?
Call Putna. She knows the black art of killing small children by ghastly sinful methods.
Certainly, Maharaj.
All glories to King Kamsa. What is your order?
Putna, my sister, I have a special mission for you. Go at once and kill all the newborn babies born in the last 10 days. Kill all the babies in the cities, villages, and pasturing grounds. We never know where that Vishnu is hiding.
I will certainly fulfill your orders. I will change my form to a beautiful lady and smear deadly poison on my breast. Newborn babies will die as soon as they drink my milk.
Putna, you are just unrecognizable.
यशोदा लाल की हाथी घोड़ा पाल की जय कन्हैया लाल की जय हो नंद लाल की जय यशोदा लाल की गोकुल में आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की ओ जय हो नंद लाल की जय यशोदा लाल की गोकुल में आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की हे आनंद उमंग भयो जय हो नंद लाल की नंद के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की हे ब्रज में आनंद भयो जय यशोदा लाल की नंद के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल की हे आनंद उमंग भयो जय हो नंद लाल की नंद के आनंद भयो जय कन्हैया लाल हे आनंद उमंग भयो जय हो नंद लाल की नंद के आनंद यशोदा लाल की।
Very soon, I am going to kill the star of this festival.
Who is she? Appears like a goddess. Must be from a royal family.
There is a celebration at Nanda Bhavan today. She must be a special guest.
Just see her face, her smile.
With a lotus in her hand, it feels that goddess Lakshmi has appeared to bless our Lalla.
Pranam Devi. Sorry, I did not recognize you.
I am Sundari. Vasudev ji has sent me here to feed my milk to your little one.
My Lalla. Why is my son to be fed with your milk?
Do you not trust King Vasudev?
Of course I do. That is not the case. But Nanda Maharaj has gone to Mathura. He is not even here. So how did he tell her to...
I feed my milk to all kids born in Yadukul so that they are blessed with good health and long life. Won't you show me your son? You must also wish for his good health and long life.
I do wish for my son to have the longest and most healthy life.
Give Lalla to me. Let me feed him.
You are a stranger and he has just woken up. He may get a little scared in your lap, Sundari.
Do not worry. He will not feel that I am a stranger. He will feel that he is in his mother's lap. Give me. Give. See, he is smiling. Yashomati, I need to be alone with him so that I can feed him peacefully.
Sundari will need some privacy, please. Please come. Have a seat.
Till the time I am satisfying his hunger, please get me some kajal. I will apply tika for him. He is such a lovely boy. I hope I don't cast an evil eye on him.
Oh, Sundari, you are looking at him with so much love. Why will you cast an evil eye? But since you have mentioned it, I will quickly bring some kajal.
I am so excited. I will please Maharaj Kamsa by killing you. You are indeed very beautiful. But don't think even for a moment that I will get trapped by this beauty. As this poison enters your body, you will suffer and beg for mercy and die soon. Hungry little boy, drink my milk, or rather poison. Leave me, child. Let me go. Leave me, you cruel boy.
Lalla, Sundari, where are you going? Give Lalla back to me, Sundari.
Nandalal.
Give me my son. Lalla, I should have never trusted her. Help! Please help my son. Who is this?
She's Putana. She has killed so many infants.
Putna? No. Lalla, someone please help my son. Lalla.
Yashoda!
Leave me, you scoundrel! You're hurting me! You're killing me! Leave me! Get off me!
Oh, after giving up my ghastly body, I am transformed into such a beautiful gopi form.
Yes, you are now promoted as an eternal assistant to Yashoda Mai in Golok Brindavan.
Please accept my obeisances, O Supreme Lord. Oh my Lord, what have I done? I tried to poison you with my milk. I was a cruel, arrogant Khechri. I tried to kill you, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, with poison in my milk. I made a grave blunder. Please forgive me.
Whatever you have done today, is due to the desires and actions of your Purva Janma. You were Ratnamala.
Ratnamala?
Yes, the sister of great Bali Maharaj. When Bali was performing Yajna, I reached there as a dwarf Vamandev, and looking at my form as a child, you spontaneously got attracted to me with maternal love. You desired to have me as your son and feed me your milk. I immediately blessed you with this boon.
Oh Lord, if this was boon, then why did I commit this heinous crime of making you drink poison instead of milk?
Due to anger, Ratnamala, due to anger. When I asked your brother for a gift of 3 steps of land.
Just 3 steps of land?
Yes. When Bali promised me, I expanded myself and covered in 2 steps, the earth and the heavens. And then Bali offered me his head to place my 3rd step. Due to the force of my foot, he was pushed down to Sutala Loka. You got enraged to see my behavior with your brother, and immediately you proclaimed, initially, I wish to feed you milk, but now I feel like feeding you poison. And I granted you this boon also. And see today, both your wishes are fulfilled, Ratnamala. Though your intention was to feed me poison, you still satisfied my hunger, embraced me, and pleased me. Now, you have become worshipable. Ma, you are freed of all your worldly attachments. And now, you will serve me eternally as an assistant to Yashoda Mai in the spiritual world.
Thank you, my lord. Thank you.
Krishna accepted Putana's motherly appearance and actions, overlooking her wicked intentions. Who else could be more merciful than Krishna? Krishna searches for some reason, direct or indirect, to shower his mercy even on the demons. Then what to speak of his devotees?
So true. If we tune into the mercy of the Lord, His pastimes will manifest and show us the path, leading us out from the darkness of this world.
Oh, Kana, I have a feeling the milk is boiling over. Please wait here, Lalla. I'll be back in just a minute.
Maya, you are leaving me for some boiling milk? I am very upset. I'm being denied my mother's milk. Let me think of a way to seek revenge.
Just one more minute, Lalla. Maya will be right back. Be a good boy.
This butter is so yummy. But what if Maya sees this mess I've made? What if the neighbors use it as evidence against me? I've got to find a way out. Now, let me enjoy the butter with my monkey friends.
Sorry, Kana. I was just cleaning up the mess. Vishnu. Not again, Kana. This pot did not look broken a minute ago. I have tried so hard to instill good behavior in this boy. But this is how he's using his intelligence. My clever little Pandit Krishna, you may be an expert at breaking pots. But I am your mother. And I am an expert at catching butter thieves. However, I fail to understand how did he scale that high motor without anything to step on? He has crossed all boundaries this time. Not only is he indulging in eating stolen butter, but he's also doling out this butter that I have churned so tirelessly to the monkeys. He's spending so much time with these mischievous monkeys that he's becoming a monkey himself. He needs to be disciplined today. I will not hit him, but I will certainly give him a good scare.
Run! Hide! Flee! If Maya catches me today, she will forever believe that I'm a butter thief. Maya, you're actually holding a stick? Looks like I'm in serious trouble this time. Oh, Kana! Run as fast as you can! But Why am I running? After all, who could catch me?
Could you not wait a little to enjoy the butter? Why steal, Kana? Does the butter taste better when it's stolen and unoffered? Stop running, you thief. Stop where you are. At once.
Maya, I will stop only if you drop your stick.
If you fear punishment, then why did you break my butter pot? You naughty little miscreant.
I will never do it again, Maya. Please, please, drop the stick. Do not punish me with it. If you drop your stick, I will come to you.
Got you.
Ma, please, do not beat me.
I will not be swayed by these tears today. Stand where you are. You will be punished today. And a part of that punishment means you will not be able to see your friends or engage in any kind of play with them.
Ma, I'm sorry. I truly am. Please forgive me. Let me go. I promise I will not do it again.
Empty promises, Kana. All of them. What is the value of this liar's promises? What worth do these deceitful assurances hold? No more butter for you, Kana. No more butter. I will tie you up today.
Maya, I won't do it again.
Should you ever have thoughts of stealing in this house again, let this stick serve as a reminder. Oh, King of Thieves, where did you learn these sneaky ways of stealing? Tell me, give me an explanation for how you shattered this pot.
Through an act of God, Maya. It was your karma.
Oh yes, of course. An act of God indeed. And who gave butter to those monkeys? Was that an act of God too?
Maya, you ran away to save the boiling milk. You are oblivious to what happened after that. Why blame me? The Lord inspired some mischievous monkeys to raid our house. I was trying to protect your yogurt and a home from being destroyed by the monkeys. And here you are, blaming me.
Oh, most eloquent of storytellers. You can definitely become a political advisor in the court of a great king. But don't you dare try these antics with your mother. Oh, Vanarpriya.
Mother, if you think I'm a monkey, then let me go and live in the forest.
Enough. Enough of your excuses, Kana. You have failed all my attempts to discipline me. You have to be tied down today. Right here and right now. So that I am not blamed of being lenient with you.
Oh, Yashoda Rani, how many times have we complained about the havoc your son creates in our homes?
But you ignore us in favor of his lies. You protected him even though he's a thief. Now he has plundered your house. Finally, you two see the light of the day.
Tell us, how will you punish him?
I'm going to tie him up with ropes today. And I'm going to tie him to this very motor, which was his helper sister. Lavangvati, please get me some ropes right away.
Ropes? No, Brajeshwari. Please don't punish him like this. Take this motor.
Which part of his body should I bind? Certainly not his wrists and not his feet. That would be so painful. He needs to be tied firmly. I think I will tie him around his waist. This chubby belly of his. Oh, Lavangvati, this rope is 2 fingers short. Please, can you bring me a longer rope? Be quick. Short again? By 2 fingers? Please tie 3 ropes together, Lavanga. I need a longer rope to tie him. Stand still, Kana. This is so strange.
If he doesn't want to be tied, you know what illusions he can come up with. And I have emptied your palace of every single rope. It looks like we are having a festival of ropes.
Oh, Vrajeshwari, we have already warned you that your son's power to deceive others is so evolved. Take my rope. This rope is enchanted and it cannot be influenced by Krishna's magic.
This is truly mysterious. How strange. I can hug my Lalla around his belly with my arms, but I cannot bind him around this belly with so many ropes tied together.
give up this endeavor. Yashoda Rani, give up your struggle.
Your son is blessed. Give up this idea.
She is so determined to discipline me. Such devotional effort must be rewarded. She is not aware that all the ropes in creation cannot bind me.
Oh, Kanha. Now you tell me, how should I bind you?
My mother is completely exhausted. I submit.
Bhakti, look, your enchanted rope worked. The knots are finally tied and secured. Kana, you began the day as a troublemaker. Now end it as a well-behaved boy. Oh, my prince, my little boy who is bound around the belly. My Damodar. If you believe you're so clever, then try and free yourself from this rope. Go ahead, pull the motor wherever you please. I have to go in and clean up the mess you made.
He is the sweetest rascal in Gokul.
Also, the most mysterious.
The Lord reciprocates proportionally. That means His mercy is proportional to the surrender of His devotees. The two fingers represent devotional endeavor by the devotee and the mercy of the Supreme Lord. The second finger, which is Krishna's mercy, is a consequence of the first, which is the hard labor of the devotee. When Krishna sees a devotee's resilient efforts to serve him, even under the most difficult circumstances, he showers his mercy and becomes the servant of his servants.
I am bound just like those two trees. Now I know how conditioned souls feel, bound by ropes of material nature. Let me liberate them. When my pure devotee Narad commits me in some way, I am a puppet to his will.
Krishna! Krishna! Lord, now we understand that our being cursed by Narad Muni was your plan to free us from a life of sin.
And our being freed by you is Narada's causeless mercy upon us. We offer you our obeisances again and again.
Why are you two exalted demigods paying respect to me? A naughty coward boy tied to a motor?
Oh Lord, you may be tied to a motor, but you simultaneously liberated us. By the causeless mercy of Narad Muni, we offenders can see your divine form of Damodar. Please, please let us be the servants of Brijvasis.
That is very rare. Had Narad not desired it, I would have never shown mercy to you offenders. You are disciples of Narad. Now go to him. By my mercy, he will fulfill your desires.
Now I understand. Naradji's mercy began by just appearing before these two demigods, and his curse was an extension of that mercy.
Lord Krishna is the embodiment of Leela Shakti, and Srimati Radharani is the embodiment of Karuna Shakti. Radharani is Hari Priya. That means very dear to Lord Krishna. If Radharani recommends, this jiva is very nice, then Krishna immediately accepts him, however great a fool or demon he may be. Let me tell you about the supreme mercy of Radharani. Once, overhearing the utter distress of a demon, despite knowing all his offenses, Radharani saw only the good in his lowly self and freed him from a curse. This Leela demonstrates that the external deficiency of a jiva really has no direct bearing on Srimati Radharani's internal merciful sentiments.
Krishna, Krishna, Krishna! Where is this Krishna? Every wicked demon sent to Vrindavan by me have met with death at the hands of these two brothers, Krishna and Balaram. I have the strength of 10,000 elephants, and I'm equipped with both earthly and celestial weapons. Still, I cannot kill that boy Krishna.
We have tried our best to destroy them, Maharaj. Aga, Baka, Putana, Pralamba, Dhenuka, all have been killed.
Minister, give me the report of what's happening in Braj. What is the news from our spies?
Maharaj, recently from the expert spies, we have just come to know about the blossoming girls of Javat. Amongst them, one Gopi was rumored to be charming above all. Her name is Sri Radha. She is very dear to Krishna.
Radha. Very interesting. I'm curious to see her for myself. If the stories of her exquisite beauty are factual, then perhaps I will kidnap Radha. Let's visit Javat. Oh, I am so thirsty. Let me drink water from this kund.
Is something wrong? Why are my horses restless? But what is wrong? Who is this standing in water? A young, beautiful gopi with golden complexion. But no one else is here. What? Bangles in my hands? And this skirt? What happened to my dress? And what is wrong with my voice? Why is it sounding so strange? And my ornaments like a girl? This hair? What?
What? I have become a woman? How has this happened? What spell has been cast upon me? Who did this to me? I hope no one is watching me. What would my soldiers think? What will I tell my wives? Who would believe I am a king? King Kamsa? No, I am no longer a king. I am now a gopi. I feel like Kamsa, but look like a gopi. Who am I? He or she?
Oh, Vishakha, whose chariot and horses are these? They look very regal.
Lalita, ask that girl by the lake. She must know.
Sakhi, who is the owner of this ornate chariot and these beautiful horses?
They belong to me.
You? Sakhi?
I have no choice but to reveal. Devi, I am Kamsa, the king of Mathura.
What? You are Kamsa? You do not look like King Kamsa. Kings rarely dress as gopis and never have enchanting forms like yours.
Listen. You must help me. I came here to quench my thirst. As soon as I drank from this lake, I became a gopi like you. How has this happened? I must regain my real form at once.
Now I understand. Oh, Kamsa, why not bring your entire army to drink? Why leave them thirsty and out of sight?
No. Please don't call anyone.
The water of this lake fulfills all desires. What was in your heart that you now have the body of a gopi? Perhaps you were thinking of gopis?
Perhaps you wanted to abduct one.
Well, now you can take a gopi, your own self, with you wherever you go.
You got just what you deserve.
Vishakha, Radharani is waiting for us. Let's go.
Sakhi, wait. Please do not go. What you say is true. I came here to see Radha. But I had no intention of abducting anyone. Please help me.
Let me bring this rascal to Sri Radha. In such a humiliated state, perhaps he can serve Krishna? King Kamsa, I cannot help you. The princess of this village is Sri Radha. If you can invoke her mercy, anything is possible.
How can I meet Sri Radha?
Follow us. After the princess has performed her morning duties, and if she agrees, she may grace you with her presence.
Better do some seva for her. Carry Radha's bathing water.
Radha, you have a new visitor. Look at this uncommon gopi who has come to see you.
What is so unique about this gopi?
This gopi claims to be King Kamsa.
What? Kamsa?
He says he came here to patrol the kingdom. And when he drank water from the Kishori Kund, his male body and dress were transformed. Now, in a gopi form, he awaits your mercy, hoping that by some magic, you will restore his male form.
Oh, Gopi, my friend tells a strange story about you. Please let me hear from your own lips the reason for your visit.
Oh, Radha, I have heard that you possess unlimited mystic potencies. Finding myself the victim of a curse, I have come to you for shelter. I am Kamsa, the king of this land. By drinking the water of your lake, I have come under an enchanting spell that has transformed me into a gopi. Please free me from this curse. Please make me king again.
Oh, king, your condition is nothing but a product of your own wickedness. You have subdued others, imprisoned your father, and transgressed religious principles to become an emperor. Kishori Kund does nothing but fulfill one's own desires. You are now a gopi because you must be absorbed in the lusty thoughts of gopis while drinking the celestial waters of my kund. Why should we undo the reactions to your own sinful deeds?
Oh, princess, what you say is true. I agree. But how can anyone be punished for their thoughts?
Kamsa, what you consider to be a curse, the great devotees of the Lord undergo severe austerities to achieve the highest position of Vraj Gopis. Why then do you not thank your destiny for this rare good fortune?
But I want to be a king. I need my Kshatriya body to rule. I cannot rule as a gopi. Please make me a king again.
Are you willing to reimburse me?
Reimburse you? Anything, anything. Ask me for anything.
Anything?
I vow. I will give you whatever you want.
Kamsa, since the day Krishna has taken birth, you have tried to kill him. Everyone knows. Repeatedly, with only one purpose in mind, you have sent your demoniac friends to Vrindavan. Although they all meet the same fate, death, such demons disturb Krishna's play and pollute the atmosphere of this divine land. Do not send any more of your ruffians here.
No. I will never repeat that mistake.
If you want to be Kamsa again, promise that you will not send any more rogues to Vrindavan.
I promise.
Promise what?
I promise that I will never again send anyone to harass Krishna or the Brijbasis.
I warn you, O king, you better be careful. Should you break your promise, you will again have the body of a gopi. And this time, it'll be forever.
Forever? No, Radharani. I promise.
Go to the southern bank of Kishori Kund. With Lalita as your witness, make your vow before the sun. Once again, drink the water of the Kund and you will be a gopi no more. As you wish, you will again become a king.
Thank you, Radharani. Thank you. Shri Radharani ki jai. Shri Radharani ki jai. Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Shri Radhe.
Perhaps one day, by some inconceivable grace, he may become qualified to be a gopi at heart. In the future, others will want to achieve gopi bhav by merely dressing as a gopi. But imitation will never do. Gauranga and his Nam Sankirtan would be the only way, and there will be no other.
What a master stroke, our dear Shri Radharani, without even using a single weapon, defeated Kamsa. How helpless he became. Goddess Mercy, Srimati Radharani is the supreme, most merciful goddess. She is the most kind, most loving. Where are you, Goddess Mercy? Where are you? Where did you disappear?
Dear devotee, Srimati Radharani is Karuna Ishwari, the original source of all mercy. I am just the manifestation of that mercy.
Hare Krishna, Draupadi Rani.
Hare Krishna, Mataji Kishori.
I'm so relieved to hear your voice. Where are you?
I have reached Prague. I'm now at our ISKCON temple. By the causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we got shelter here, and I'm serving here now.
Oh, really? You are in an ISKCON temple? Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you. Prabhupada, you have made a house in which the whole world can live. Your temples in every part of the world are the places of shelter. A Vaishnava spiritual master is a direct representative of the mercy of Sri Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
कृपा कोइले कृष्णा अधमेरा प्रति कृष्णा अधमेर प्रति गुरु कृपा कोइले कृष्णा अधमेर प्रति लागिया नीले हेता गुरु एबे गति गुरु कृपा कोइले कृष्णा আছে কিছু কার্য তব এই অনুমানে আছে কিছু কার্য